Hi, good day. We're going to talk about a natural phenomenon and its important details of the Mount Pinatubo eruption. Again, good day, and this is Group 1.
The 1991 Pinatubo eruption is the second largest volcanic eruption of this century and by far the largest eruption to affect a largely or densely populated area. So, starting off, on July 16, 1990, magnitude 7.8 earthquake, which is comparable in size to the great 1906 San Francisco, California earthquake, struck about 60 miles or about 100 kilometers northeast of Mount Pinatubo on the island of Luzon in the Philippines. So, at Mount Pinatubo, this major earthquake caused a landslide, some local earthquakes, and short-lived increase in steam emissions uh, from the volcano. So, despite that, the volcano didn't seem to have any other reaction aside from those steam emissions. But at March and April 1991, molten rock began rising toward the surface from more than 20 miles beneath the Mount Pinatubo. And because of that, it triggered some small earthquakes and caused powerful steam explosions that blasted three craters on the north flank of the volcano. Thousands of small earthquakes occurred beneath Mount Pinatubo through April, May, and early June, and many tons of noxious sulfur dioxide gas were also emitted by the volcano, but that was just the beginning. So, sorry. From June 7 to 12, the first magma reached the surface of Mount Pinatubo because it had lost most of the gas contained in it on the way to the surface. The magma oozed out to form a lava dome but did not cause an explosive eruption yet. However, on June 12, which is same date as the Philippine Independence Day, millions of cubic yards of gas-charged magma reached the surface and exploded in the reawakening of the volcano's first spectacular eruption.
Reawakened after more than 500 years of slumber, Mount Pinatubo in the island of Luzon in the Philippines showed signs of imminent eruption early April 1991. On 12 June 1991, its intermittent eruption began. 3 days after, on 15 June 1991, its most powerful eruption happened. Mount Pinatubo ejected massive volcanic materials of more than 1 cubic mile and created an enormous cloud of volcanic ash that rose as high as 22 miles into the air and grew to more than 300 miles across, turning day into night over central Luzon.
Mount Pinatubo is a stratovolcano located in central Luzon that resides in the Kabusilan sub-range of Zambales Mountains, a mountain range that covers the western part of central Luzon. Pinatubo is also part of a chain of volcanoes called Luzon Volcanic Arc that extends to coastal ranges of Taiwan. Mount Pinatubo's summit before the eruption was 5,725 feet above sea level and 2,000 feet above nearby plains, and only 600 feet above nearby surrounding peaks. Mount Pinatubo is only 55 miles northwest bound of Manila. Lake Pinatubo is a crater lake formed after the 1991 eruption was filled with water from monsoon rains.
In June 1991, the second largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century took place on the island of Luzon in the Philippines, a mere 90 kilometers 55 miles northwest of the capital city Manila. Up to 800 people were killed and 100,000 became homeless. Following the Mount Pinatubo eruption, which climaxed within 9 hours of the eruption on June 15, 1991, 15 millions of tons of sulfur dioxide were discharged into the atmosphere, resulting in a decrease in the temperature worldwide over the next few years. The blast created immense avalanches of searing hot gas and rocks, called cyclomacipro, which rolled down the volcano slopes.
The Mount Pinatubo eruption and their after effect, particularly lahars during rainy seasons, not only have taken the lives of many but also have wrought havoc to the infrastructure and to economic activities of Central Luzon. Damage to crops, infrastructures, and personal property totaled at least 10.1 billion pesos in 1991 and an additional 1.9 billion pesos in 1992. In additional, an estimated 454 million pesos of business was forgone in 1991, as was an additional 37 million pesos of business in 1992. Lahars continued to threaten lives and property in many towns in the province of Tarlac, Pampanga, and Zambales.
The eruption removed so much magma and rock from beneath the volcano that the summit collapsed to form a small caldera 1.6 miles (2.6 kilometers) across. If the huge volcanic eruption were not enough, Typhoon Yunyan moved ashore at the same time with rain and high winds. The, the effect was to bring ashfall to not only those areas that
The management of the Mount Pinatubo crisis in 1991 to 1992 represents the pinnacle of the nation's progress in reducing volcanic disasters. Modern monitoring methods and equipments were used to monitor the volcano. The eruption was correctly predicted. Hazard zonation maps were created and released 1 month prior to the violent explosions. An alert and warning system was developed and put into place, and the disaster response equipment was promptly mobilized. However, the dangers are unparalleled size and persistent as well as their extensive and long-lasting effects have severely strained the nation's infrastructure for mitigating volcanic disasters. The Lahar danger in particular has sparked debates and forced decision makers to choose between adaptive and confrontational controlling strategies. In varying degrees and forms, at least three strategies have been put forth and implemented: the creation of a Lahar monitoring, warning, and evacuation system to address the Lahar issue on an emergency basis; the removal settlements from hazard zones; and the implementation of engineering countermeasures to control, divert the Lahar flows, and safeguard settlements. That's all for Mount Pinatubo natural phenomenon and its important details. Have a good day. Thank you.